There are three ships that are my go-tos for my weekly Tier 4 premium. They are the Kamikaze, the Marblehead, and the Giulio Cesare. This week I decided to take the Giulio out because I've been abusing the Kamikaze recently and decided that Red Team needed a bit of a break, but I didn't end up giving them a break in this one. This is my build, and I'd like to thank my fleetmate Timicher72 for his input on this one, because he said he has a lot of fun running this build, so I thought I'd give it a go. Looking at the team sheets, there is a division there on Red Team, and I just want to point out that this is why you do not split tiers when you form a division, because we've got a Tier 3/Tier 4 division with two Tier 3 cruisers that have been pulled into a Tier 4, Tier 5 game. Now, what I will say is that the fact that the Tier 3 cruisers and they've got no armor is actually going to give one of these guys a bit of a break, because he should have gone back to port so many times, but RNG decided that the Giulio Cesare is far too powerful to be doing that, and I am going to be throwing nothing but over penetrations in the way of one of these cruisers. And I was so close to just switching to high explosive and just burning them down, but I thought, no, I want to keep slapping you with all the armor piercing that I have got. I've just had a notification pop up on my phone that I've got a meeting in 10 minutes. So let's see if we can get through this video before then. But there is the Danny out there. He is sailing flat broadside at a constant speed. And I do have HE loaded there because I always try to load HE at the start if our destroyer is pushing quite aggressively for a cap. But our destroyer and the cruiser have both decided that they're going to go round the capture point and contest this Giussiano. And I think the Mistral is out there as well. I think it's him we're going to bump into later. We're going to bump into a couple of the destroyers later, but that's all going to add to the tally and also give a little bit of pucker factor to the game. So I'm thinking of pushing this flank and actually going into the cap myself, because when the destroyer and the cruiser just wouldn't go near the cap, I was like, caps are king in this game, you know, we need to get in here and we need to take the caps because Red Team have already secured an advantage. So there is the Matsuki. I've just fired my guns at the Nevada. Here come his torpedoes. Looking straight in front of me, I'm thinking he's targeted this battleship in front of me who's hitting the brakes. I'm trying to get my turrets round, and this guy in front of me is getting absolutely rained on from the other flank, and I can see those torpedoes coming, and I'm trying to get the protractor out and do a little bit of maths and say, are they going to miss me? But what we're going to do is we're going to give that Matsuki a lesson on why he shouldn't get himself spotted. Another example, or another fine example, of battleships who do shoot at destroyers. So there we go. The torpedoes did miss us. We've got rid of one of the destroyers, and it looks like the other flank has completely collapsed. And like an idiot, I'm going to turn around and head back towards Red Team. Meanwhile, our cruiser is, I think he's trying to get into the next game by going all the way around the map. I know that he's putting shots onto that Nevada and risking getting dev struck himself, but he kind of overextended a little bit. And I'm pinging the map to tell the destroyer, look mate, get on the capture point. We are hemorrhaging points here. We're already 110 points down. We're already an extra ship down. We're looking to see what's going on there. Now that DD is going to come out top of this game. It's not going to be me. So I've got to give him like a round of applause for doing what he did do. But the cap play really needs to be early on in the game if you're going to want to give your team that advantage. I've got an Omaha coming round the corner on me. There's obviously something on the capture point in front of me, and I'm thinking, great, I'm running towards potentially a destroyer, two cruisers, and a battleship because the Danae also came around there. But I've got hit points to play with, so I can afford to put all my guns onto this Omaha, can't I? And anybody in their right mind would expect this to be a complete dev strike, but it's not. We get 6 over penetrations. That guy should have been staring at his screen, wondering what the hell just happened as he disappeared back to port. But now he's staring at his screen, thinking, "Phew, that was lucky. How on earth didn't he delete me?" Well, it's because RNG is playing silly buggers with us. So we're going to have another go at the Omaha, but he's going to turn in as he comes round the corner. I'm going to keep going away from him because he's got torpedoes, and I know there's a destroyer there. And why on earth this battleship thinks it's a very, very good idea to continue sailing broadside to everything that's out there and not use the rudder on his ship, I have no idea. But there is the Monaghan. I want to try and get rid of this Omaha to stop him from burning this guy down, all the while making sure, because I think the Monaghan's torpedoes are relatively short range, that they'll run out before they get to me. The Omaha's luck runs out. Those torpedoes are going to run out, but I know now that I've got the Monaghan, the Danae, and there is still a battleship out here somewhere, as well as one more destroyer. Oh my goodness gracious me. It doesn't look good, does it? We're 150 points down now, and that gap is only going to get bigger. How we're going to turn this one around, I don't know, but there is the Mistral hiding on the corner, and this is where that Fushun is going to come into his own. He is going to stand there toe-to-toe with that guy, and he is going to get into a little bit of a brawl. I'm going to try and pick up this fast-moving Danae. The other battleship has come with me as well, and look at that. The Fushun, literally with a sliver of health left on him, manages to take down that Monaghan with guns, which leaves one more destroyer, the cruiser and the battleship. We've brought it back 3 ships to 3, but their points advantage is still huge. That guy is giving the Bayern a full broadside. I'm pretty much giving the Bayern a broadside as well, but we want to try and get rid of this Danae because his shells can just chip away at us and he can be a complete annoyance. There we go. We get 1 over penetration off a full salvo. If this was me in the Omaha and the Danae, I would have been back to port ages ago. I mean, I wouldn't be sailing broadside to a Giulio Cesare, I know that for sure. But did I give a broadside to a Giulio Cesare, then I would very quickly expect to be staring at the port screen. So I'm going to switch my attention to the Bayern, try and put some hurt on him. I've always got turtleback armor. I don't always know how best to shoot at German battleships, but we're going to lay some shots into him. And while I think he's busy shooting at that guy, I know that the Danae is trying to have a pop at me again. But I missed the fact that that battleship went down, and I start to put a turn in, which is going to give that Bayern a beautiful broadside on me, and he is going to take a fair chunk of my hit points off me with, I think it was 2 turrets. We're still going to focus on this Danae. Am I getting fixated on a target? I'm so annoyed that this guy literally will not die. It's like, how many lives have you got? You should be gone. You should be gone many, many times over. But his luck is not going to last forever. I switched to HE there because I'm thinking, okay, I'm over-penetrating on armor piercing every single time. It's going to have to come down to high explosive. Oh, look, here's our furry taco. But look, I switched to high explosive for the Danae, and the Monaghan is coming straight out on a YOLO run, and I'm thinking, my game is over. Come on, guns. Reload, 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 and then boom. He is out of here. That gives me the Confederate a sure sign that your guns have been pointed in the direction of at least 6 targets for at least 20% of their health. We haven't even got a high caliber yet. But the Bayern takes his opportunity to have another crack at me. I've loaded armor piercing again because I'm going to head for that Bayern, because looking at the points, We are, what, 300 points down now, and still the destroyer and the cruiser aren't really paying attention to the capture points. The destroyer is coming this way, and yep, there we go. We finally land the shot we want on the Danae. We are on 4 kills. There is nothing left in the game but this buy-in, but we are so many points down. We are definitely more than 300 points down now, and so this guy has to die for us to win the game. But is it going to be me? Is it going to be the cruiser? Or is it going to be the destroyer who picks up the kill? There is our high caliber, 78,000 damage. Not a massive one, because some people brought some tier 3 ships into this game instead of tier 4. The destroyer is pushing onto the cap. The cruiser disappeared. Congratulations for sailing all the way up the map and all the way back, but he still did better than half the team in what he did achieve in staying alive for that long. So I guess there's that. You know, he's got that going for him. This buy-in is focused on me. I know that it's likely that his secondaries are going to start kicking in. He's firing full salvos at me. I'm trying to stay bow on and bounce as much as I can. Give him a little bit of an angle, invite him to fire the shot, try and get my secondaries into him as well, force him into a damage control, then let the secondaries get another fire. If that doesn't work, I'm going to keep shooting, and I am going to ram him if that's what it takes in this game. But there we go. He's 4 full turrets onto me now. That means I can turn out, get my back to on him while I'm waiting for my front turrets to reload. We're going to take another bit off him here, but still, we haven't got the kill. We are trying to get that rudder back to the left to get as much as that bow straight at him, because we need to close the speed if we're going to ram him. The guns are coming back. He has to die for us to win, and here we go. That is Kraken Unleashed 193. It never looked like we were going to be able to win that one. I was extremely annoyed at the way my shots were landing. But in the end, we came through. A couple of hairy moments with those destroyers coming out at us, and the Bayern taking chunks off us when he could. But there, GG to our Fushun for getting top of the board. That'll be that solo cap. I get second place. Not a massive XP score. Again, blame those guys who brought tier 3 ships in. But I guess it's something a little bit different than a Kraken in a kamikaze for you. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. Smash the like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And don't forget, you can always make a donation through the links in the channel description or at the bottom of the video. Take care, and goodbye.